kind of popularity just in general with the rune change.
Against, remember the first time we saw LC, it was Navi US, and they did the LC Wisp combo.
Yeah.
Now, that did not go well.
Yeah, and that was also an aggro try, and there are all sorts of issues with that. That scenario, but the Wisp in general I think is just a little bit stronger right now. You can get that bottle early, you can reliably fill it up, and makes the Wisp's life a lot easier.
I'm betting a dual lane coming out here from Fnatic with that Wisp, especially considering Wisp is one of those supports who's like the best in the game of getting an early bottle on its support, taking advantage of that, protecting and babysitting out your mid lane and trying to get control of both of the runes at the same time. I'm not sure if they're going to roll with the LC in the mid lane again to be that duo setup, or maybe a Morphling, but Hani leading out the charge here, I'm thinking it might be him.
Yeah, it looks like it. We'll introduce the Alliance roster first, as their lane's a little more straightforward. It will be Bulldog headed the off lane on the Beastmaster here. Goes Boots first, has a ward already, and he'll scurry down, and we'll be able to get this ward down before it gets scattered out by Alliance. Jesse will be playing on the Brewmaster, probably headed towards the mid lane. Ake on the Visage once more, and this time Misery will take point on the Demon Witch. Mr. Lion himself going to be giving people fingers left and right. Safe lane, that'll be Loda, farming away on the Spectre with this badass cosmetic set. We've seen it once before, but this thing is cool as all hell.
Yeah, very nice, very flashy, but as many teams that love playing the Spectre in this patch, surprisingly, 5-9 record in 6.82. Okay. Not the best considering how much we get to see and how much you would figure it could benefit from this one. But even though teams like X Games just lost last game with it, I feel like that was the lone reason they got to hold on as long as they did. So still a really good hero, just unfortunately not getting as many W's as come to expect.
Definitely.
Now on the side of the Radiant here for your Fnatic crew, leading off your off lane, it is going to be Trixie revisiting his Nature's Prophet role. On the mid lane, we already got Come With Me.
Oh, first blood again.
God, here we go.
Boogie.
Another dragged out first blood. Boogie. Oh, turn the corner. Try to get away from this one. What can you do about it, boys? I got a sleep available here. Can I delay it out? Yes, I can, but it's to no avail.
The suicide.
Oh.
Oh, Boogie with the plays. Bulldog was hasted up. Thought that was a guaranteed kill, but the Nightmare right there for the denial. Good stuff.
One of the best benefits to getting a sleep right off the stat and getting caught out as a Bane. So, wow, things fired early here. Where the hell was I? Oh yeah, Hani, mid lane, Legion Commander in the mid lane once again, as we saw yesterday along the bottom. It is Boogie, who did narrowly escape a very dramatic first blood with that Nightmare. Going to be playing your Bane. Along the bottom, we got Matumba Man playing your Morphling.
Yep, already a gank rotation coming out of Alliance. They'll move mid, looking to put some pressure onto Hani. Misery leading up the charge, does have Hex level 1, and
they run right by. Hi, how's it going? We're just going to kind of walk by you. Hope you didn't notice us right there. We have eyes on top lane. See you later.
Yeah, I mean, the kill potential onto the LC probably not the highest, but I'm just surprised they didn't Hex, throw some auto attacks.
Well, the thing is also, they walk by, and I think they see what's happening over here. The Wisp is doing double stackage, maybe potentially trying to make a pull towards the mid lane. They know he's nearby to aid out Hani. It might be too much work to make nothing happen, but top lane where they rotated to, Trixie trying to get away from this one. There's your Grave Chill, and there is your official first blood. And, well, seeing them walk by the mid lane, they should have known that it was coming towards the top, and Trixie ends up getting caught out.
Yeah, Trixie just playing a little too far forward there. Had Boots first, so maybe thinking that his getaway would be a little bit easier, but almost better for Alliance to get the first blood that way than the way they initially had it. It would have probably gone to Bulldog, and here it goes to Spectre, which, of course, on the position 1 is always scary to get a start like this. Already a poor man's shield up and 800 gold in the bank. Down bottom, Boogie will get the rune steal as he uses the Nightmare to much avail once more and grabs an invisibility rune. It's a Misery up top who finds that extra bounty.
So it looks like Fnatic here as they are scouting out Bulldog. I really like this. Bulldog was attempting to do a stack on the Ancients, but look at that. Well aware. They got the ward. They're blocking it out. They don't want to allow anything easy for this Beastmaster. So Bulldog, if he's not going to get a whole lot done in this off lane, he has really not a whole lot to fall back on. Right now, desperately throwing out the Axis, trying to leech some XP for himself, but he's going to run into a very rough early laning phase.
Mid lane is going the way of Hani quite handily here. 19-2 versus the 11-0 Brew, but up top, Trixie once more going to find himself in some trouble. Misery will start things off with the Earth Spike. He'll have a Hex to interrupt the TP, and this is definitely another death. It'll be Ake that gets the last hit this time, but Loda Oh boy, this is the kind of start that he loves.
And I'm just talking about Bulldog having a hard time, but not nearly as hard of a time as Trixie on that Nature's Prophet, caught out for the second time straight. Bulldog trying to get these stacks. Like, why is it not working?
He's determined.
What is happening here? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm not used to this pit or something, but no, it's blocked out by the ward, unfortunately, so he'll probably be onto it right now and knows that that's something he might not be able to do. So goes back to the lane instead and tries to make something happen, and there's your call. It looks like Hani healing himself up a bit, continuing to get out those last hits. 23-3 still a front of this Brewmaster right now, but looking to hold strong. Last time he picked with the Legion Commander, as soon as he got his level 6, he looked for a gank potential happening elsewhere. That could happen here on the bottom lane if they catch out Bulldog, which right now that might be the case.
They'll just TP home, or Willie looking for the Nightmare. No adaptive strike. You go. He'll just TP home to safety.
But yeah, if he goes to the bottom lane and tries to make something happen, you do have that global presence of Trixie to help out with any sort of gank or duel in need.
Yeah, Spectre not finding the best in terms of just raw last hits, only 14-6, but those kills that he picked up kind of more than making up for it. Ake taking some damage as the little treants chase him down, but he'll be okay unless Hani rotating over already. There'll be a teleport from Trixie to box him out, and well, the overwhelming odds will be enough to secure a kill onto the Visage. So Hani getting a nice exchange there, and Fnatic will finally get their first kill up on the scoreboard.
On the board, which is maybe the start of momentum they could need, because it's been a very rough early laning phase thus far, but still early to tell here. And Loda continues to find some safe farm right here. He's got the Oov in hand and looking to build forward towards that Urn. And remember, Urn received a pretty nice buff in this recent patch, so almost crucial that each team at least try to get a hold of one.
Yeah, now going from HP removal to pure damage, knocks off healing salves, and I think most importantly interrupts blink daggers, where it did not used to do that when it was HP removed. Urn is pretty damn strong right now, no doubt about it. Hani, what's he got coming out here? He'll have phase boots on the LC, and then probably looking just to rush the blink. Here's your first duel of the game, right out onto Chessie. The TP in from Trixie. We've got a winner. Hani will enjoy his own chicken dinner, and that is his 135th victory as they'll press forward and look for misery. They won't find it. But great start for the LC, getting some bonus damage here at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, and no surprise, just like we saw last time, you get that level 6 and you want to start things off quick, fast, and in a hurry, so it definitely gets the bonus damage starting to roll in his favor, and that stacked together with the phase boots makes quick work of that Brew. And optimally, if you can take down the Brew before he has the opportunity to get a hold of that primal split, that's even that much better. Now he has to waddle himself back to the mid lane. It is Lion for now on, played by Misery to try to take up some solo XP for himself, but optimally, not the best situation there for Alliance. Trixie makes his return back to the top lane to kind of go out and try to contest Lotus farm a little bit more. And on the opposite side of things, your Matumba man Morphling ahead as far as CS, 36-17, going relatively well for him. He's got his Ring of Bassi right there. I'm imagining going into the Aquila next.
Hani, he'll get isolated up top. It's a 3-on-1. He will press the attack, but not enough to survive, and it will be Brewmaster that finds some vengeance as he chops him down with the flail.
Really risky. I know that you are guaranteed a ruin wherever you go, but if you go in the wrong direction, you're going to run into the enemy territory real quick, and they're right there to spring the trap and take it to Hani. So right after you got that nice dual kill in the mid lane, ends up getting taken down. This allows Chessie to build a little extra farm for himself here and a little bit extra tower to start holding down those tier 1s.
Matumba man will be moving into a Hand of Midas first item, has the recipe, and about halfway to the Gloves of Haste. Pretty good timing here. And as the last hit leader, like you mentioned, this is great news for Fnatic. They'll have a tool to secure them in the late game, but Trixie, he'll get turned into a little frog. Ribbit. Oh no, Coddle Guy Trixie is on the feed train, and this is just not where he wants to be.
It's very apparent they don't have proper vision to see these rotations coming in, and I don't know if he's making sure he checks out how the map's working out, but with Alliance having this Lion and Ake constantly on the move, it just keeps you guessing as far as where they're actually going to pop up, whether it's at that rune spot at the top of the river, or whether it's coming in from behind in their off lane. It's just constantly, a mystery for them, and it's clearly paying off for them.
Well, Hani's still finding a lot of farm in the mid, and now he's just continuing to pull up for the Blink Dagger. This is where LC needs to slow down a little bit, look for opportunities, but really just doesn't want to die. He's down bottom. Bulldog, he'll get caught inside of the trees. Matumba man comes in, decent damage coming out, and that'll end up being an easy kill as he waveforms forward, and Trixie gets credit for that one. So now they'll just try to transition this into a push. The treants come out. Trixie will intercept the creep wave and pull some aggro off the tower. They even have a siege creep. Basilius is on. This is the perfect time to set up a push like this. The Glyph has already been used. You know, the Treant coming up. Will M&M baby will, again, keep the aggro off the tower. Beautifully done by Fnatic.
Yep, he's going to push forward right here. Can we sneak in and deny? No, they want to add the pressure and make sure it's secured. And they take down the tier 1. Fortification is going to be refreshed. Thank you very much. 6.2. And they will opt to pull back now instead. Back in that mid lane, we got Hani. He's got 1k gold held here. We'll see if he decides to blitz forward for that Blink Dagger. If I do remember correctly, though, he did opt for the Armlet first, favoring the extra damage and then going for the mobility. I guess when you do have a Wisp on your team who's going to try to push forward and get that level 6 as he gets the solo XP here in the mid lane, you can benefit from the relocate as far as getting a good initiation.
Yeah, come with me. Soon to be level 5, hanging on to that bounty rune. And yeah, once Wisp hits 6, that's when things really get scary. Trixie going for the Fighting Prophet build, double null tally and power tread so far. We'll see if he moves into a blade mail. Just moves straight towards a Maelstrom Blink, but either way, he's still got some decent right-click abilities right now. Matumba Man is just so scary in terms of farm. He's keeping up, the Spectre is keeping up with him, but this Midas will make a big difference coming up here soon. But Loda, the Earnest Shadows, is up, and he is in fighting shape, level 7, ready to haunt in at a moment's notice.
Steve, in case something breaks out, if you have to pull something in here, would be a nice benefit to have. And he'll come with me, pushing upon forward, wants to get a hold of that level 6, dearly so. It's Hani, though, scouting out with that Invis rune through the jungle so you can get any sort of easy quick pick off on your Visage, on your Lion, getting that bonus damage with the duel if you'd like, but he's not going to find anything as the rune does begin to expire.
One just sitting back, farming, looking for those right openings, and maybe they'll find it on Loda as Hani moving around up in the top lane. Loda, suspicious of some trickery, will move behind the tower and be safe. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Misery and Ake are smoked up. They'll intercept Matumba Man here, but do they have the damage to bring him down? Misery is 6. He's got the finger. Well, that answers that question. Matumba Man gets dropped like a sack of bricks into the river, as now Boogie gets off a Nightmare, but Soul Assumption's there, and it's a 2-0 going the way of Alliance.
Unfortunately, the Morphling just saw the aggression coming a little too late, couldn't get any sort of waveform off, and we saw the lockdown, you saw the finger fly out from Lion, and it was just easily enough burst to take down the Morphling, and they get it done. They also followed up with a sweet support kill on that Bane.
But it does make some space for Fnatic in the top lane to pressure the tier 1 tower. The Glyph has already been used. That'll deter them, but Hani, he's ready to duel. Loda will not get dueled. There's support coming in. Shessie does have the primal split. They'll use it. Can they interrupt Trixie? Yep. Yes, they can. The boulder's there, and once again, Nature's Prophet takes a fall.
Yep, nice quick grab. Trixie, 1, 4, and 2. Not having the best time on this Nature's Prophet, though they are taking objectives. That's their second tier 1 tower. Looking for their third here in the mid lane. Come with me, tethered up on this Morphling. Ready at a moment's notice to aid out his comrade, and he does have that level 6. You're absolutely right. And Ohane up in this top lane, bottled up, and here comes a relocate. I'm hearing it happening right now. It's going to go to the bottom lane. They're going for Bulldog right now. Bulldog looking to move on forward, does not have the ultimate to work with just yet. Trixie also rotates in, gets the Sprout happening here on Misery. Bulldog's going to make his escape, but maybe they can get Lion instead. Oh, replicate forward. They want it. Wave dash. Come on, baby. One more auto attack if you can. Oh, Misery ducking in a corner, but that's not going to help too much. But Matumba Man now trapped out. Ake with the familiars, locks it down, and gets revenge. A very worthy trade right there for Alliance. A bit of an overcommitment there from Morphling. Clearly, no worth.
Yeah, beautiful Hex from Lion to make that whole thing possible and allow Bulldog to survive and kind of force that really deep commitment to secure the kill. That Hex wasn't there. Trixie would have had that one final auto attack to bring down the Bulldog, and things would have transpired much differently. So just glancing at the graph here, Fnatic still holding on to a small gold lead, and that is the tower difference. It is 2-0 in total tower count, but Alliance, they've got the hero kill advantage, and they are about 500 experience in the lead. Still Loda looking good in terms of farm, now has his power treads, and I think now begins the climb towards the relic, if possible. 1,500 gold on the way.
Yep, and I want to say this is kind of that old style 4 protect 1 kind of synergy that Alliance has been working with. Now, Spectre, they do have the benefit of that haunt for him to be able to engage in these fights and puts him into the mix, gets him that extra XP and gold in any sort of promising engagement. But here we go, we got a smoke popping out here from Alliance. Looking to catch on through, they see the Invis rune, but they don't want to pop out any sort of vision picking Trixie. It up, but oh god, Trixie. Oh god, Trixie. Slap forward, there's your clap, there's your stun. One more little smack of the pole is going to go ahead and secure that one, and he'll go down again. Jesse moves on to a killing spree.
Doing a good job, like you mentioned, creating space for Loda, farming very safely in the safe lane up top as creeps move towards the tier 2 tower, keeping great creep-equilibrium as the rest of Alliance move towards the bottom lane, start to pressure this tower. It will be Wisp to TP in, but Come With Me needs to be careful here. It's a 3-on-1, and the Wisp is pretty susceptible. He'll take a finger to start things off. Will tether away, but Chessie has a Blink Dagger. There's your clap, there's your crit, and one more ought to do it. An easy kill on the Wisp is, up top. They'll look to set up a kill onto Loda. What happened, says the Brewmaster. You got a kill, buddy. That's what happened. Loda playing this very cautiously, though. Knows that there's a lot missing off the map. Moves into the trees. Great map awareness here. And this will not be an easy gank, and they won't even go for it.
And you can't help but feel like Fnatic might need to try to go and use that relocate and target down, and especially if they can get a hold of Chessie now, slowly building up a bounty for himself and his team. Only not actually in favor of net worth, so it wouldn't be the biggest lump of gold they could grab it. You know, that's of course because of the towers that already Fnatic's managed to take down very nicely for him. But Chessie pops out that illusion rune he's bottled up, looking to scout anything out. There is a lone Boogie here in this bottom lane who might need to be careful.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. Here we go. Primal Split comes in, doesn't get off the clap, but the bullet will hit him in the face. The follow-up is here. Misery. He doesn't need to use the mana. They'll just be able to click down the Bane, and it's another kill for Alliance. They'll get the tower, and all of a sudden the net worth will move in their favor as they just continue to rack them up. Yeah.
Very nice for Alliance, but pressure on the top lane here is the tier 2 getting a wealth of damage. This is forcing some rotations to come out from Bulldog as well as Ake. We're looking to press things forward with these birds and scout it out. Nice stun though. Double stun, triple stun coming out from Brew, and the 4 stuns. Holy lockdown, Batman! Jesus Christ, Alliance, and what a fantastic start from Ake, getting him with the familiars. Morphling really playing it risky, should just try to get out of there as much as possible if he has, well, I guess he didn't have the mana for Waveform, but wow.
Yeah, he spent all that mana morphing up, bought himself some time. Come With Me will find a tower kill in the mid lane, so at least they get something out of the exchange, but Alliance just falling apart once these tier 1 towers go down. Or pardon me, Fnatic just falling apart, but hold that thought is up top. Hani will find another dual victory. That'll take him to now plus 20 damage. He brings down the line, so a little pick off here and there, keeping them in this game, but once Alliance knock down these remaining tier 1 towers, we'll start to see the net worth really move into their favor. 136 career dual victories on his Legion commander. Just want to give him a small prop on that. So, you know, relatively familiar with the hero. Now, I guess after yesterday's game against Cleve, recognizing how much he has to offer here with it. You know, the LC.
Would love to get a little more going for himself and a little more bonus damage in this game, as his team not really being able to benefit a whole lot from those relocates and kind of aggressions just yet. Just kind of more on the back foot thus far, getting caught out from top to bottom.
Yeah, definitely so. Trixie working towards his blade mail, but 15 minutes in, you'd want to have it up already and give you those fighting right clicks. Looking to pull up for the broadsword, and pretty close to it, about 300 gold off. Hani may be looking towards a BKB or a Maelstrom. Has the Mithril Hammer as his first item pickup here.
Whoa, Brew, overcommitting for an illusion right now. Yeesh.
To be fair, the replicate is a little bit hard to tell.
True.
It seems like the real deal at first, but
pie on the face, I guess you could say in that one as he jumps in. And
also, to be fair, of all the heroes to be replicated, it was Trixie, so Chessie's thinking, oh, Trixie in a bad position again. This is a freebie. So of all the heroes to be in that kind of awkward position, it was maybe the most believable. Sorry, Trixie, but this is just not your game, friend. We'll see. Primal Split used and wasted there, but Aghanim Scepter on the way for Chessie, and he's not too far off the mark up top. Looks like we could see an engagement break out. Invisibility rune on Hani. He's on the backside, looking for the initiation. May be able to catch Misery here. Relocate on the way in. He'll instead go on to Loda. A nice Earth Spike for Misery. Will go on to 3. Will the duel complete? No. The Spectre will survive. Hani taking a lot of damage as now the rest of Alliance coming in. Spectre does die, buys back, will haunt forward, and now the turnaround. Boogie taking a lot of damage. They've already lost their Wisp and their LC. Matumba Man will get interrupted as the familiars fly by, and he'll take the finger. It's a 1 for 4 in the buyback from Loda. More than worth it.
That Misery Earth Spike on the jump in was MVP that fight, if I had to say, locking 3 of them in place. Only, Hani would have definitely benefited from getting that extra damage in that duel and then being able to move on to the remainder of the fight. But man, they get blocked instantly, and all this severe stun and lockdown from the side of Alliance clearly paying off in 2 back-to-back fights.
Now Loda up to 2,700 gold. He'll have a relic coming out before too long. And the other valuable thing there is he's up to 8 earn charges. That's fabulous. That gives them some huge amount of sustain coming up in future engagements. And also, well, it does give Loda a little bit of extra killing power as people try and walk away from him in these engagements. So he'll just go back to farming here in the off lane, and well, he's racking it up. Net worth, though, number 1 is Chessie. He's now 7, 1, and 3. So that big bounty he's building up continues to climb as he's now only 100 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter.
Love to get a hold of that one. It's going to be a rejune at the bottom. Doesn't want to allow those Treants to deny it, so quickly grabs it up for himself, retreats back to this mid lane as he's only 100 away from you said Aghanims. And there you go. Misery.
Blink.
Very nice Lion performance thus far. This Blink is going to make things a whole lot better for him. Really savoring that Finger of Death for the heavy burst on the Morphling in multiple occasions. And, well, the lockdown, we've seen how beneficial that can be. And, well, for Bulldog, though, he's reserving 2k gold. He could go for a Blink Dagger if he wants to add a little extra initiation, or he could just kind of go on forward for that Necro Book if he wants to really go that Zookeeper kind of a build.
Yeah, I think the Necro Book is a little bit more optimal here just because they have plenty of initiation power. They have Haunt, now they have the Blink instant cast Hex, plus you've got the Familiars that are flying around all over the place to try and initiate, and Brew with a Blink Dagger. Yeah, just start working on that Zoo as you mentioned. Get some pushing power onto the field and just get some extra summons. They'll stack up the Ancients once more using his little boar there. And we'll actually not find an Ancient stack that time, but we'll still be able to clear it out and get some extra
A little
money.
late. It was also recently pointed out in a fun fact, apparently on the Dire side Ancient Pit, you can stack it up to 10 times.
Woo!
Yeah, if you time it properly, you can get quite the stacks. I don't think that's been hotfixed yet, but a nice little perk for the Alliance side, and something that Tinker is just not happy about anymore.
Yeah.
Missing out on that.
Yeah, Matumba Man going for kind of an interesting build on this Morphling. He went Midas now into Yasha, and usually you'll see a Morphling either go for a Linken's or a BKB first core item, just so you have a little bit of extra stats and additional survivability. And here he's 1-4-1. He could benefit from something like that, and sure, the Manta will give it to him, but the Yasha, not quite that. And here we'll see this front and center as Matumba Man gets initiated on and takes the finger. Not enough HP to survive the onslaught. Come with me. He'll get dropped as well. It's a 2-0 to get this fight started. The godlike streak for Chessie continues on in the top lane. Trixie trying to do a little bit of rat Dota split pushing, but Alliance will claim a tier 1 tower in the mid.
That pressure on the top is quickly going to get the retreat out here from Loda, who is going to try to thwart as much as possible. Trixie happy to go toe-to-toe here, willing to contest, going to try his best to make use of these Treants to get this last hit in if possible, but here we go, a secondary rotation to come. He's just going to have to commit for this one as much as possible. He does get the tower, but Hani's here.
That'll be a winner, and he'll finish off the Lion.
Where the hell did he come from?
Yeah, he just trotted his way up, blinked forward.
Caught me sleeping as he just quickly jumps in and aids and gets the Lion pickoff right
Hani's
there.
going for a Desolator, first item after blink, so he's going Glass Cannon, just straight right-click him down. And that ended up being a pretty decent exchange for Fnatic. They get the kill on Lion, they get the tower, and Trixie does survive, and he'll be moving into a Maelstrom. So not all bad news for Fnatic. Glancing at the graph, look at this thing. So even as it's a very back-and-forth game. The Morphling is the big bottleneck for them right now, though. I don't like to single out Matumba Man, but he's just too damn squishy. He needs more stats, and that's where getting this Manta up ASAP is going to be a big deal for him, just so that he can survive the finger.
Not going with your usual kind of Linken's early kind of a build, I suppose.
It's interesting.
I guess there's a lot on Alliance's team that could remove the Linken's, but I can't help that just the survivability of the item would benefit a little bit more, plus the additional stats wouldn't hurt either. But going more early, I guess, damage build with the reliable Yasha grab right there, and well, we'll see if it ends up working out for him as he continues to farm up in this mid lane. But as far as score goes, 19-7, pretty significant for Alliance's team. But we already talked about the net worth itself, much closer to even, given the fact that Fnatic has benefited from getting off a fair amount of towers in their favor.
Yeah, that's the big disparity. Alliance have only taken out 2, Fnatic have killed 4, so that's where their gold lead is coming from. But Bulldog will prove us wrong here and go for the Blink Dagger. More initiation for Alliance, and we'll hold on a bit longer. And look at this stack from the high ground, but it'll be another fail. So they're trying their hardest to stack up these Ancients, but it's
worthy to note that chat in their nicest manner has let me know that it was hotfixed. You can no longer stack that many times. So thank you.
Oh, good.
In the most polite way, of course.
Good. That's nice.
They're so sweet.
Pleases and thank yous.
Pleases and thank yous. And just let me inform you, oh kind caster, that actually it's been hotfixed, but keep up the good work.
Auto guy, nice guy. Well, Fnatic will move into the dire jungle, and Matumba Man is getting a bit closer now to that next core piece of the Manta, the valuable orb to give him some of those stats. We'll see Chessie bottle up the bounty rune here. Another 2,000 gold up on him, maybe looking for a Vladimir's offering coming out next. We'll see the Hawk kind of scouting out Boogie, and they're thinking about it, but he'll head back to the tower. Seeing quite a few heroes off the map, will play it safe, and of course that does ensure his survival.
Now, given it's 6.82 and it's a whole new ball game, if you will, and previous meta as far as Beastmaster's concerned, when he does complete a Blink Dagger at a relatively early period, does sport a pretty dominating win rate, apparently about over 80%. So having the benefit of that strong initiation has proved beneficial in past games, but like I said, this is a whole new patch, a whole new game, and there we go, Loda with the big grab of that Radiance. This is going to be troublesome a bit for Fnatic, especially when the haunts start coming out.
Yeah, 23 minutes in, not a bad timing, given he went for this kind of more fighting build. Finished up the Power Treads and the Urn of Shadows. Also got the Value Oove. So not the best timing in the world, but certainly within acceptable parameters. And we'll see his farm kind of start to skyrocket as he's at the tail end of the pack of core heroes, and we'll start to jump up and probably surpass these leading farmers on the side of Fnatic. Up top, Hani will start to get converged on, perhaps. Do they know that he's hiding in the tree line? No, it looks like Alliance are just making a general rotation as they are smoked up, looking for some Fnatic comrades nearby. Loda, be careful, friend. Hani's in the tree line nearby, and they will not see each other. Instead, come with me. Shots from the Ancients, and we'll be able to tether over the tree line to survive once more. So an unsuccessful smoke from Alliance, but not the end of the world.
Not so. Some more separation of farm as it's becoming slowly more of a reality that we might see the main event being a toe-to-toe battle between the Smorfling and the Spectre. But as that said, jump in on Come With Me. Quick tether to get across from this one, but with that Haunt and that Finger, they quickly blast down the big energy ball and take down Come With Me in a nice sweet pickoff. They had to work a bit for it as Alliance swept through all the way in the top lane to rotate all the way to the mid, but finally get the benefit they were looking for in that support pickoff.
Yes, absolutely. So we're probably trying to hold the Finger for the Morphling, but became pretty apparent that the elusive Wisp would have made the getaway. So I like the idea just to utilize what they have to secure the kill and feel a little more safe now as they look towards the Roche pit. It does get pinged out by the Wisp. There is a Radiant Observer on the high ground, so they've got some vision into the pit here, so they see them all walking in. Will they be able to contest it is the real question. Wisp coming up in just a couple of seconds. There is a medallion, so Roche falling pretty quickly. Fnatic ready to hop in.
I don't think they can test this. They don't have like your Echo Slams, RPs, any sort of big team fight engagements or Ravages that can really slow their roll. Instead, they're going to just creep in some Illusions and some Creons.
Almost brings down Misery. This is actually a little bit scary for our Alliance. Misery will have to blink to the high ground, and they will be repelled, at least for now. Matumba Man goes cruising on in on the high ground. Wisp is relocated, won't be able to find anything. And that'll be the end of it, but now Come With Me. He'll get left behind, relocate, will bring him back just in the nick of time. Be the end of it. No kills coming out. Roche very low. Lions may go for it once more. Now, Lions have so many Blink Daggers that they can just kind of blink in on
Fnatic looking to take it away themselves after doing a few little jabs on the Alliance squad.
Here we go.
Trying to segue in, but yeah.
Flying over. They give the vision. Now the Brewmaster comes in, pops the ultimate. Will throw the stun onto Trixie. Misery's there. Will connect with a stun. Ake falls off to the side, but Trixie in some trouble. He'll be the next to go down. Boogie isolated onto the high ground. He'll get turned into a frog, and he'll get swatted down. It's a 1 for 2, and not looking so great for Fnatic. Trixie will buy back following his death. Come With Me just walks into it, tethers across the way, and will connect with Matumba Man. It won't be enough to ensure his survival. Another nice stun from Misery, a triple kill from Chessie. They will secure the kill onto Loda, but he'll die. He'll buy back. That'll be a haunt into the fight. It'll be a die back from Trixie. Chessie still alive, and Ultra kill. Matumba Man, the lone survivor. Waveform over the tree line, and he may yet survive, but an obvious victory for Alliance there. A couple of buybacks deployed. Hani will use one towards the end of that.
Huge fight for Alliance. The questionable choice. They want to get all 5. Rampage! There it is, boys and girls. Rampage coming out from Chessie. Putting on a clinic. Come With Me. That's a 6 takedown. Hani wants to try to make a duel happen. Oh my
God! Rampage. Oh no!
What
and Loda wins the
thinking?
duel. He gets the plus 14 damage. Fnatic going a little too. We only live once, boys. We better hop in here and make it happen. You and the captain.
7 for none. I believe at
well,
the end
no,
of
they
that
lost
one.
their Spectre. He
Oh,
bought back.
okay.
So
Oh,
7
okay.
for 1, Coddle Guy. Don't get too excited.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fnatic
made
used
him
3 buybacks that time, 2 of which were diet backs. Oh, man. Trixie.
That all started
and
with a
Hani.
very questionable Fnatic play on going into the Roche pin, thinking they could take it behind Alliance's back. But Alliance, you got your Hawk, you got your familiar birds. They constantly have eyes in the skies, scouting out what's happening. And my God, that's a dramatic drop.
Look at that, man. It's like the Marianas Trench just right down. And even scuba divers can't go down that low. Now Roche falls to the Dire, going to further their net worth lead that much more. Loda picks up an Aegis of the Immortal, and again, we've seen twice now Loda's bought back, used the Haunt to get back in the fight, and that's why Spectre shines so much. That's the big play you can make when you get picked off in a fight. And his patience using that Haunt will just prove so successful. Chessie does have a big bounty to his name, though. He's now 15-1-3.
I was just going to say that. I mean, you got to remember, folks, it's 6.82, and with this new bounty system, though, it's been tweaked here and there. Uh-oh, mid lane, another jump, and they want more. They should be able to get Matumba Man here. Their prized Morphling going to fall. Another kill by Jesse on the Brewmaster.
Chessie.
Chessie, what did I say, Jesse?
Jesse, yeah.
I wish I had Jesse.
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah. It's clearly my day for casting. I guess you could say.
Uh-oh, the Trixie, the Trick Master down bottom. He'll get hexed, he'll get frogged, and it's just falling apart for Fnatic across the map here, Coddle Bro.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's flabbergasting as it is. 31-9.
Eek. This is where things
huge
get
wealth of bounty is there, but
we're getting close to
how
that.
the hell are you going to get to it?
Yeah,
That's
that insurmountable of how do you kill the damn Brewmaster? He now has a Shiva's Guard and 2,300 gold, level 17. Him and Spectre tangling for the top, and now Alliance will just group up down bottom. They'll start chipping at this tower, and
it's just becoming apparent, Fnatic with their draft, the game plan just was never there for them, whether it was trying to do some relocate ganks and early pressure with your Legion commander and allowing your Morphling to kind of farm out of control for the late game. That certainly is not happening. Hani trying to split push here in the top lane. Ooh, oh, he ends up going down. The late Radiance burn ends up taking down Hani in his own base. Rough.
as he makes it back. Yeah,
he did make it back TP, but then just fell on his face in his own fountain.
Yeah, I gotcha. So now the Vlads comes out for Chessie, and they get the tier 2 tower down bottom. So let's just look at this graph, and the trench continues here. Now about a 10,000 gold, 14,000 experience lead. Less some kind of crazy throws here. Alliance are just in great shape to seal the deal in this game. Item progression has just been completely stymied on the side of Fnatic. We see nothing past the Desolator from Hani. He has no money to spare. Matumba Man, he was their big pocket ace. He was farming up a storm, and now he's kind of been knocked down and just sitting on a Manta style 1,500 gold, and not much else coming to his name. Still struggling with that relatively squishy setup right now, and you know, the finger is still a pretty good ability to try and lock down Matumbo.
Do love my fingers, so we'll have to see. Bottom lane, though, it's just all Alliance thus far, and it's rattling my brain now as far as what the game plan could be here for Fnatic to try to bring it back. I mean, it's only going to be able to take you so far. They're trying their desperates here to try to split push it out as much as possible with the benefit of your Nature's Prophet and such and so forth. He's got his Maelstrom already complete here, trying to make something happen, but it's Alliance's game, and they're going to continue to add the pressure here. Mid lane, they're targeted out on this tier 2 tower, but would love to take that down.
This will probably be the end of his Aegis here as Boogie's there with the Fiend's Grip. Hani will be ready for a duel. Trixie will just TP out. He doesn't want to get burned down from that Radiance. And Loda, no, they won't be able to finish him off again.
10 seconds to Haunt if he does consider pursuing, but I don't think that's
Matumba Man, the finger to the face. They'll just bring him down once more. I think he just needed to go a tankier build, either a fast Linken's and maybe a BKB. Maybe this is a Linken's into BKB kind of game, just so you can survive the onslaught, start morphing the strength, and that's how you create the turn. But right now, there's really nothing the Morphling can do with the item build he's got versus the burst damage that Alliance have.
No, certainly not, and especially all the lockdown that they've clearly have exercised this game. It's just tremendous here for Alliance, formulating a very nice draft here, and they continue to press on forward. This tier 2 is set to fall here as they have no more sort of glyph to work with, and desperate set of balls, I guess, thrown out from Come With Me to try to slow their roll, but not going to be so
Hani.
successful.
Oh, Hani. Sweet Prince. Night has fallen. And he will TP out just in the nick of time as they start to converge. But oh, look at this. There's a tier 1 tower still standing. They'll clear out the creep wave, and now Alliance just taking down these early money bags. No glyph will be available for this one, but we'll get refreshed here. And maybe Fnatic can try to make a hold at this tier 2, or at least delay the push. But they might just want to save it for the high ground, as it seems like Alliance could be looking that way pretty soon. Now 12,000 gold and 16,000 experience in the Dire's favor.
Going to hold strong here in the top lane, continuing to press on forward. They want this tier 2, and, well, they should be able to get it. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, you do have your Fnatic pushing out their own tier 2 here in the bottom lane, you know, at the expense of a relocate, it would appear.
Trixie will grab a courier kill, and only a magic wand on it, so it did have a little bit of cargo, but nothing too game-breaking at this point. We will see a little bit of a race scenario here as Radiant move into the high ground. There is a glyph available on only the Radiant side as Fnatic will start doing a lot of damage to this tier 3 tower. TP back from the Lion to try and make a defense. He'll go right onto Matumba Man. Out comes the Haunt from Loda. They will go for the Morphling and try to secure this one. Finger of Death once more will bring him down. Meanwhile, in the Radiant base, they'll stick around. They bring down the tier 3 tower, and it is Alliance that find the better of this trade. They'll stick around a bit longer, see how much damage they can do to the ranged barracks, but Fnatic will come to the defense. Boogie's here, ready for the Fiend's Grip. Will maybe be able to get it onto Ake. Just uses the Nightmare and will interrupt the TP. Now Ake will be able to not make the escape. And Fnatic get a little bit of a cleanup, but trading a Visage for a Morphling is...
Bane's got 2.6k now, so I guess you got that, but yeah, not clearly going to be as much as they ideally would want. So they get something on the way out here, but they do take a little bit of base damage as they lose their tier 3. Fnatic trying to make a trade happen, clearly couldn't get a whole lot. They take that tier 3 surprisingly pretty low there on the side of Alliance, but with Spectre having the benefit of that ultimate, could just quickly make a proper retreat and just try to punish Fnatic for making anything like that happen. So I would imagine at this point, Alliance feeling confident as ever will continue to scout the Roche pit. As you can see, Misery doing so right there. It's got a little bit of extra time before it's up, but if they'd like to play it safe, they could wait it out, grab a hold of that extra life, and then look to put a lid on this game.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and they're getting down to that point of it's just about time to try and seal the deal with Roshan, or even just a straight-up fight towards the base, as Chessie just trucks the courier. He was invisible, looking for an opening, and he'll find it. Now the Primal Split comes out. Chessie is all by himself and needs to be careful. He's the one with the big bounty right now, does not want to get picked off unnecessarily. And we'll go in with a Tornado onto the Morphling. He wants the Wisp. Now he'll see Boogie, and Boogie will be able to TP to safety as Misery is inbound. And, whoa, close calls. He does make it out.
Very close.
Yeah, same thing in the bottom lane as Loda almost finds a kill there.
Yeah, top Hani doing a split push here on his LC, but they're swarming him. Ooh, quick blink reaction, but doesn't go quite far enough as they find him, quickly finger him up, and they pop out the urn, and, well, we'll rip him apart. This puts Loda into an unstoppable streak, continuing their bounty worth that much further. But
also picked up a Heart of Tarrasque with 3,600 gold in the bank. He is damn tanky.
And damn farmed.
Yeah, very aggressive use of the Haunt. Of course, it will be stuck on cooldown for a while, but using it for vision just so they could secure the interrupt and make sure Hani gets punished for his attempt at split pushing. I do like the use of the ults there. And Alliance may just want to sit back, and Roche coming up maybe soon. We'll see what the RNG timer is here momentarily.
Give it to me, baby. Is it going to be quick? Is it going to be long? What the hell are we going to be dealing with here?
Ready to say, blah, blah, blah. All right.
He's hammered.
Minute and a half, so smack dab in the middle on this Roche timing. And I guess that's not too bad. I'm not sure if that really helps or hurts Alliance, but they should be able to secure this next Roche pretty
what's
easily.
This? Rotating over. They're looking to come in as a flank here, Fnatic.
And a Hex on Trixie. This could be big as Boogie. Fiend's Grip out onto Misery, but Loda's there, chopping him down. Matumba Man comes in. Will they be able to bring down the Lion? No. Misery survives. Loda gets hexed up, now put inside the Nightmare, but Chessie's here. They'll bring down the Wisp. The Lion will eventually fall, but Matumba Man, he gets left behind. He's out of mana, and he's out of life. Trixie will try to TP home. No interrupt. He will live, but it's a 1 for 2. And once more, Alliance find a good trade. Roche up in just about a minute's time, and now they're wishing it was a fast timer.
Fnatic's clearly trying to pull out whatever strategy they can to try to surprise Alliance, but it's continuously proving unworthy as they lose a couple of casualties there, and now Hani forces a split push continuously here on the side, allowing Alliance the opportunity. They'll farm up this Ancient stack, and That should be just enough time for the Roche to pop back up. They'll move on in, grab a hold of that extra life, and I would imagine try to go for the crushing blow here on Fnatic. But for the meantime, Fnatic not looking to throw in the towel too early. Really making Alliance work for it after even having that really long first game. I guess Alliance are just going to have to go through continuous long games and just really testing their stamina for the rest of today.
Yeah, certainly so. Not even at that halfway point yet. But Roche up in a couple of seconds. Alliance postured around the pit, and here...
Oh, he jump on the top lane. They're going for Hani. Brewmaster split, and that's a quick takedown, and Hani promptly falls. And
they also know Boogie's down bottom, and will they start to converge? Blink Dagger TP, he should be able to make an escape, so I don't think they'll commit for it. But even just with Hani dead, that means Roche is a lot safer for Alliance, and a lot less likely that Fnatic will try to go for it. Hani does have a buyback, though. Last time we saw how well the buybacks to try and contest Roche worked out for Fnatic.
Yeah, and I just can't help but feel like since that one Roche engagement where Fnatic had actually thwarted Alliance from taking the Roche and then deciding they personally wanted to go for it, that was just the
turning point.
That was, you could even see it in the graph.
That was right here to led to that roller coaster down. That's
down.
That's like
that's a scary ride.
That's a King Dakar right there, just going straight down, feeling the cheese.
Pretty much no coming back from there. So this allows Alliance to pick up an easy Roche at that point. It's going to be Loda, of course, to pick up the Aegis. Trixie does pick up that Blink Dagger for himself, giving a small homage to Bulldog on the other side, I guess you could say. But I guess Rat Dota is only going to take you so far at this point when Alliance is just so far ahead.
Yeah, I think the Hex pickup on Trixie is a big deal, but they have bigger problems than that. Wisp will start to move towards a Bloodstone of all items. An interesting choice. I think Mech is still a very solid choice on Wisp. You can still do that cute little double heal with your tethered target. And Bloodstone is cool, but it just feels more like a luxury item than that core item you want to go for first. Hani, he'll join Trixie to jump on the Bulldog. That'll be a winner. Now the relocate in, and Fnatic will find a successful gank onto the lone druid onto the Beastmaster, but Alliance starting to converge up top. Misery will get caught out, but now the relocate's taking them back, and Hani will get left behind. They'll find vengeance for their fallen comrade. The finger to the face will bring him down as the Demon Witch secures yet another kill.
Pulls back, and after will look like a great pull from Hani, gets taken down shortly thereafter, as Alliance are just clearly out for redemption, not allowing anything easy here for Fnatic. So still more rotations to come. Still an Aegis on hand to work with here. It's just a slow, torturous process still for Fnatic to try to grasp at straws as far as strategies on how to really bring this game back in their favor.
Yeah, so I'm curious what Matumba Man's working on here. He's got an ultimate orb, 3,700 gold. Will it be a Lincoln's? Will it be a Scatty? Time will tell.
I would imagine a Scatty at this point.
I think that makes the most sense, and it is a good item in the context of his weak point, as we've been talking about. Gives him a lot of great stats, a little bit more to play around with, and also just helps buff him up a little bit. Also great utility from the slow. The question is, will it be enough? And I think the item choice is along the right line of logic, but it also just feels a little like too little, too late. When Fnatic are starting to suffer from who's doing the damage. I mean, you got a Desolator out on the LC, sure, that's great, but there's already a lot of armor on the Dire side, and they've got things like the Shivas, they've got things like the Vladimir's offering, so already that Desolator kind of falling off in impact a little bit, as we will see Alliance move towards the tier 3 mid.
Here we go. They're taking the high ground, coming and knocking at the mid lane door here. Want to be able to
Loda just
do as much structure
down to the bottom lane. There's the haunt, and where will Loda go? Looks like he'll head towards the base, perhaps. Boogie taking a lot of damage. Will be pushed back. Tier 3 in the mid goes down. Loda will actually go to the top position to try and repel Trixie and Hani. It looks like he'll be successful. Can he finish off Trixie before he TP's back? No, not quite, but space created here, Coddle guys. The mid lane of Barracks will fall, and Loda just single-handedly quells the split push.
Indeed, and Come With Me gets caught out here on the bottom lane, forced to wait out for his TP, so he was not there to really bring up a whole lot of defense in this mid lane. That structure holding on to about 30 life, and oh, there it goes. Promptly taken down.
Yep. Down she goes, and now Alliance can just reap the benefits of the slow siege. Yeah, feeling pretty good here, holding on to their pretty sizable lead, and with one lane of Barracks down, that puts them one step closer to being where they need to be. Hani now, again, 2 feet, 2 boots. He'll grab himself the boots of travel and just hanging on to the phase boots for that little bit of extra damage.
Yep, and they might need to start considering going for an all-or-nothing play. I would imagine at this point here,
it's almost Hail Mary time.
They're pressing out here through the mid lane. possibly looking to rotate through and up. It's come with me, bottles up that bounty rune, and he's just going to be sewn to the hip, I guess you could say, with this Morphling, just trying to add as much
Scotty.
heal and sustain and you know, attack prowess.
Yeah. Loda has about a minute and a half left on the Aegis of the Immortal, but 5,000 gold to play around with once it expires and opens up that inventory slot. So suffice it to say, he can pick up pretty much anything he wants. Coming up next here, top lane, we see Bulldog getting pinged out. Boogie comes out of the tree line, will connect with the ultimate, and wow,
Bulldog goes down.
Seriously dropped the hammer there, abusing that global potential. So nice setup from Fnatic, but
I get some gold to Morphling. That's not too bad.
yeah, not bad, but you know, end of the day, it's just your Bulldog. Those are that was what was nerfed in terms of the 0.5 down to 0.35. Yeah, the single pickoffs like that. Still a decent swing and still a worthy kill, but that was the one tweak they've made to the crazy rubber band effect is now you can't just totally rebound from a single pickoff.
Oh,
now in the mid lane, Matama Man gets initiated on. Yes, indeed, he'll get frogged, he'll get stunned up, and now the Hex comes out on the Misery. Loda's already haunted in, doing so much damage. Brings down the Wisp first. The waveform back from Matama Man will keep him alive a little bit longer, but it opens up Trixie to get left behind. Loda on that godlike streak. It's just continuing on as now Alliance are looking like they could seal the deal. No glyph available. They can just move towards the top lane of Barracks, and this will be an easy 2 lanes. Visage will finish off the ranged Barracks. Hani is trying to split push once more. And all right, Alliance play this one safe. They'll just back it on up.
Fnatic still want to hold strong here, I guess. And you know what, to be honest, from the games I've casted, even if they end up just as lopsided as this, or one-sided rather, it's the teams are not willing to throw in the towel too early. They feel like maybe if they get something going, if they can get that huge team fight underway, that there's always going to be that comeback factor. And
yeah.
well, I mean, I'm one to say, last night I had a game where I came back crazily somehow after just only having 1 Rax to stand, and you know, it is possible, I guess you could say, but, you know, Fnatic really reaching for an opportunity like that right now.
It's possible, and this is also a huge game. Worth reiterating here that both teams on 4 losses. Whoever loses this will be in a very rough spot in context of making it to the top 4 and securing a seat at the LAN event in Kiev for StarLadder Season 10. And, of course, that's where the prize money's at as well. So Fnatic will stay into this one until the bitter end, and I think it's well warranted. But big items coming out across the board. Sight Device now on Chessie, and here we see the Boots of Travel for Alliance. Now on the Brew and the Lion and the Bulldog to boot. So there's a lot of global presence coming out as they'll be able to defend the rat push that much easier. Down bottom, Hani gets caught. He gets turned into a frog. He'll lead some flies, and then they'll cut him down as he takes another finger. And Misery just racking up the kills. He's 4-4 and 27 on this Lion.
I actually just got information also for Chessie in that early Brewmaster aggression, and the Wealth of Kills has set the new record on Brewmaster for most kills at 30 minutes. So.
17-1 and 7. Wow, very impressive.
You know, congratulations to him, I guess, on that one.
Primal split up top onto Trixie. He'll get soloed down by the Brew. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Come With Me gets soloed down by Loda. Double godlike streaks. Somebody kill them, please, the announcer says, and stop the madness. This is where it gets rough, though. Buyback status, negative there, Chief.
Only for Hani, yeah. So, and how much is he going to really have to offer here as they're looking to press into the bottom where pretty much the lone structures are standing, given there's 1 Rax there at the top lane, but this could be it. And I don't know how many times I've said that thus far, but Alliance...
No, this is the really bad one. Trixie down for 80 seconds. He has their Hex. He has a big portion of their damage. I don't think they can hope to take a good team fight without their Prophet. Or their Wisp, for that matter.
Misery to lead out the front right here. If he can get a good jump in and some sort of catch-off. Might be able to burst down Batumbahan if they like, but they don't really have much as far as defense. And clearing out these waves of creeps and the wealth of familiars and all these creeps and critters moving on forward. There's your Rax. It's going to fall right here. I would imagine the GG call could be coming.
They don't even glyph it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Just a melee Barracks standing, and Hani, he's trying to split push. He's trying his hardest, but
there it is. Mega creeps going to be pulled out here, and but this looks to be it. Alliance are going to be picking up another win, and going to be 2-4 thus far. Got 2 more games to play out. Matama Man going to get caught up there at the end. Continuation of that godlike streak coming out from Loda as it's him and Chessie. Tremendous performances coming out from them. Just ultra domination by their part. So Alliance, 2 more games to play today, off to a fantastic start, going 2-0. First game was a little bit closer and a bit more girthy, but this one, it was pretty much their game to take. Ever since that one Roche engagement, there was just no letting up from them.
Yep, Trixie, he's saying something, but Loda just hits him with a Kale Calm down, son. Calm down. Good stuff, though. Alliance really looking good today, as you mentioned, Cuddle Guy. We'll have another pretty quick break here. We've got our next game of Alliance versus Compass Gaming right around the corner, scheduled to start about 3 minutes ago. So we'll hop right into that lobby, and then after that, we'll have a break. We'll have about an hour to get a little bit of lunch in us, think about things, and then it'll be Alliance versus the Hellraiser.